What were you guys talking about? I heard my name when I came in.
I was trying to. I wanted to let you describe what your like plan was with the Acuria, since nobody really knows. But Thunder was asking about it. So
Do I update stuff?
No.
Okay.
It'll be fine once we're done updating everything, like transferring everything.
Gotcha.
Oh, you won't have Zavara either.
I only vaguely remembered because I was working on class stuff when you were working on changing stuff last night, so.
Oh wait, I wasn't supposed to update?
well,
I mean,
you're
you're
already in.
already connected, so it's obviously working.
Alright.
Thank you, Mr. Bubbles.
Oh, thank you for the reset, Thunder.
So if I do something like,
Where's my? Oh, it's because this is slow. Let's see. Okay. I need Lotus.
so if I do something like,
Why does it say 2? It's supposed to be part 3.
it's just a test.
Geru. Hey, picture.
What?
I said, hey, a picture.
So you guys get a picture?
Yep.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Did it leave?
Yes. It's back.
Okay. Just test it. Do you guys see a name when it comes up?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. That's a little more annoying. So that means if I do this, just as a test.
FF12 Acuria Model 4.
Yeah, okay.
Pictures.
I swear, Fantasy Grounds. Alright, it's fine. It's fun because I can give you guys visuals, you know,
Mhm.
as
Yeah.
we're role playing.
And we can kind of stage it ourselves.
Oh, I need to make sure that's working too.
I don't remember what they told me when I asked them how to use the Aeon gem.
That's a little important.
That's my history.
Your intelligence is high, isn't it? It should be fine.
Yeah, I can roll history for it. How do we get Amaterasu and Tsukiyomi here?
That's the other thing. So their summoning conditions are to pray to them at the point where the sun is highest in the sky and then when the moon is highest in the sky. So we're gonna have to pick a time and then try to summon the other one. Somehow.
I think probably choosing Tsukiyomi first is the best plan.
I'd agree with that.
Amaterasu is the one that was more intrigued by this.
Okay. As long as she's willing to call her sister too.
Tsukiyomi was able to call Spiritus, and then Spiritus was able to call Wisp, so maybe I can daisy train that somehow through Wisp. Hi, Jace.
Okay. I'm gonna close the door and we're gonna get started.
It's a benevolence, by the way, Savande.
Benevolence.
The one that I would have trouble with. Eucuria.
His name was, but
I was
it's
blanking on the no, I mean his like choosing is somebody who's benevolent.
oh, his aspect. Okay.
Yeah.
Mic quality excellent. Thank you. I don't know. I didn't do anything different. I'm glad it's working. Sweet.
I give it 30 seconds until we hear the Discord noises.
Ah. You lose that bet now.
I will mute my whole microphone for 30 seconds. You won't get me.
Or I could just mute the thing that's producing the Discord noise. It's because I have my laptop on my side. And the speakers are not muted. Were not muted.
Excuse me.
Who want a DJ?
I will, if nobody else wants to.
It's
Oh,
me.
Steph's doing it. I didn't see that, yeah.
I'll take a
This other
Steph
account.
DJ.
Just let me know when the sound fucks up
Roger.
and I'll reset it real quick.
Wait, what does the DM do for standby?
When the DM has standby, he plays his own stuff.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. In this case, it's Baldur's Gate.
Nothing should be playing right now, right?
No, not right now. I'm getting something.
Okay. Just making sure. That music like immediately relaxes me now. Double-edged sword of regretting not playing it when I was younger, but experiencing it now.
Playing what?
Kingdom Hearts.
Ooh. I got it for Christmas the year that it came out. Oh, that was one of the best Christmases I've ever had in my life.
I convinced Steve to play it.
It's legitimately, like, still today, one of the most fun games to play.
I did have a lot of fun. Yeah, I agree with that.
I'm glad I convinced him to play it. It's not always easy to convince Steve to play a single-player game, and he managed to beat the whole thing.
Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm happy Steve got a chance to play that, to like experience that.
I really like how...
Steve, I can barely hear you, by the way. Can you get closer or louder somehow?
I haven't changed anything.
Never mind. You were just far away a second ago. I think you might have just been away. Okay, from your microphone.
I move it away because I get the impression that you guys can hear me breathe when it's too close.
We hear inhaling, but we don't hear like breathing. So it's fine. It's probably no different than what you hear me do when I'm like role playing. So you guys can hear the music then?
Right.
Okay.
Mhm.
I don't think I've ever heard this version before.
I'm gonna have to roll history stuff. I don't remember how to use this gem. It's been too long. I remember specifically asking how to use it because I didn't want to be in this scenario, and I forgot.
I need to very specifically remember so I don't forget.
And I thought I wrote it like in the item, and I fucking didn't. Man. Jesus.
Smooth.
Want a really real fucking blast from the past how old I am. When I first played Kingdom Hearts, I asked my dad if I could have his tape recorder so that I could record the intro music so that I could listen to it whenever I wanted.
Wow.
He had one of those little like handheld tape recorders.
What year was Kingdom Hearts?
I think
2002.
yeah, it was when I was in like 6th grade, I think. Something like that.
And 2, 6. Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
I only played it for the first time when I was like, I don't know, 17, something like that.
Played it last year. I think it was last year.
The OSTs. Freaking OSTs for Kingdom Hearts are just such bangers. It's such good music. Except for Atlantica in the second game, but nobody talks about Atlantica in the second game.
I'm trying to remember Atlantica in the second game. Wasn't it just was it minigame world? The second game? Or just for like
Yeah,
the
it was like
musical?
this trashy like rhythm minigame.
All right, is everyone ready?
As I'll ever be.
I'm doing my part.
Okay. You ready, Steve?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll open with the Warriors of Light inside Castle Cornelia. At least those of you that are gathered together to meet with the Acuria will be in the Grand Hall of Castle Cornelia. It's where the throne room is, and it's where all of the Covenant Dragonstones are. That's where they were left behind. The Covenant Dragonstones, they pulse with a myriad of different colored energies, all sporadically. Chances are the stones are pulsing to the combat that is being waged in the skies above between the Covenant and Zodiarch. The castle, normally bustling with activity, has very little servants walking to and fro about it. The servants themselves seem fixated on whatever task they've been given by the quartermaster, Most of the soldiers are gone. Usually, they're probably the majority of the military for Cornelia is probably on the outer regions, in the outer regions of Cornelia. Not near the castle gates, but fighting off the hordes of astral enemies, astral fiends that are bombarding every capital on Chrysalis. You stand in a large empty hall with marble flooring and an empty throne. And you gather around. All three of you are just kind of standing near each other. Now is the time you decide what you will do next.
Well, you wanted to meet with the sisters, right?
Can you get them here?
What time is it?
Considering you're not outside, I didn't tell you. I'd say midday. The sun is highest in the sky.
Well, unless you want to wait 12 hours, we can call Amaterasu, and I can try to daisy chain a connection from Wisp to Tsukuyomi. Will that suffice?
Whatever it takes.
The hall is grand, but there are servants walking to and fro. Not often, but once every 10 minutes or so, you'll see a stable boy pass or a chambermaid.
Should we maybe do this outside?
The throne room is large enough for those of you who, are wondering if any of the primordials would be able to fit in this place. The throne room is large enough, even with the stones in here, but it's up to you whether you want whatever it is you're doing done here or elsewhere. One moment.
I think there's something a little poetic about calling the Acuria here.
Then we will look to Orpheus for approval, since it's his plan, his meeting.
Matters not where it's done, as long as it is done.
Then Lumi will kneel down and prayer to Amaterasu under his breath.
How? So you just kneel down and say Amaterasu?
I'll quote, Goddess of the Sun, we ask for your appearance so that we may seek your counsel. And then say your name, Amaterasu.
Okay, so you're kneeling in the throne room saying Amaterasu.
Yes.
Okay, nothing happens.
I have a feeling the sun needs to see you.
That's probably fair, but you said to do it inside, so I went with what you said.
I said
cheeky
it matters not where it's done.
Okay, but you could say go outside.
I thought you had a plan.
It's pretty good.
I'm gonna grab him by the wrist and just yank him outside.
Off to a great start.
It's cheeky with me after he says to do something. Ugh.
I thought it was extremely dramatic. I like
As
it.
you're both led through the halls, it doesn't take long. Outside the throne room leads into the main castle garden. This is the place where Spiritus was wandering around smelling flowers. It's a very large garden. There is a broken portion of the wall that leads out onto the cliffside where Logren has currently made his home while he stays at Castle Cornelia.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Orpheus will motion to Lumi.
Give him a glare. As he'll kneel down in the garden in the sunlight and repeat what I just said.
The sun will become brighter. The rays that just kind of blare down on all three of you will become hotter, more intense for a moment. The sun will glare, almost flash, but not really a flash of light, almost as if you were moving your vision across it and just kind of staring directly into it for a moment. And then in that moment of the sun glaring, an outline of a wolf will just kind of appear behind a dazzling array of arranged rose bushes on the far side of the garden. You'll see her take careful steps as she looks around quizzically.
Lumi will approach.
A nearby stable boy will drop his bucket that he was carrying and will run far, far away as fast as he can. The bucket will splash manure all over the cobblestone.
Is it the same stable boy that Karos fucking terrified?
Yes.
Oh my god.
As the stable boy runs, you'll see the giant wolf observe him. The wolf will tilt its head in a confusing way, and you might even see a flash of predatory instinct just kind of flash across her eyes as if she's about to, gallop after the boy, but she stops and instead calmly turns her attention to the three of you.
Lumi will bow and address her. Thank you for coming. I believe my compatriot here was looking to set a meeting with you, your sister, and the Acuria?
I was starting to think I would never be contacted.
There is a lot of opposition to this plan and this meeting, Amaterasu.
And yet you organize it anyway.
I do what I must for the world we live in.
As do we all, mortal. Well, as some of us once did.
She'll idly just kind of look at the garden all around.
I suppose you will be wanting my sister to join us.
Orpheus will nod.
Shall we do it here, in your pretty gardens?
Orpheus will look at Lumi.
I see no
Matters
reason.
not where we do it.
You little.
Her eyes will actually sharpen as she looks at Orpheus.
It does matter. There are eyes everywhere. His eyes.
So
Unless,
then
of
you have a
course,
suggestion.
Would this call for Valhalla then?
Her face will twist in disgust.
I would not set foot in that abomination. That wretched dimension. Perhaps my sister will have an idea. Do you?
She'll just kind of look beyond the three of you, behind where you're all looking, at the opposite end of the garden from where she is. Already, a giant white wolf has manifested and is sitting. Instead of seeming out of place, awkward, and ready to pounce at any moment, Tsukuyomi is laying down. Her 9 tails are just kind of fanned out on the ground behind her, and the wolf's snoot is very close to an orchid that she is intently observing and sniffing. She'll turn her attention from the orchid to her sister as the party focuses on her.
There are very little places still available beyond the sight of our old friend. You cannot mean to allow him to observe us. I said. I have a place. A place he would not dare return to. If the warriors of light would lend me their trust. They summoned us, sister. Their trust matters very little to me.
Ignoring her sister, Tsukuyomi will look at all of you expectingly.
Lumi will nod.
Neither of you would be here this moment, and I'll turn to Amaterasu, if we did not trust you. And I'll turn back to Tsukuyomi and nod.
Lumi will take his bow and poke Zavara.
You have mine as well.
Amaterasu will exhale sharply as Orpheus addresses her, and then will look at her sister, knowing exactly where Tsukuyomi is going to transport the three of you. That said, 1, 2.
Nice.
Such good models.
Light blue energy, akin to the radiation that often surrounds the moon wolf, will surround the party, and the party will be transported. You are transported to a desolate place, ruins of some sort. A very large tower. Centered, broken, no ceiling on the tower. You are on a floor. A shattered table just kind of litters in multiple pieces the center of the room. The table is made of some sort of wood, a very thick, heavy wood. There's dust everywhere, but not normal dust. The dust is very pale, very white, very sandy. There are windows, although the windows aren't needed, considering half the ceiling is torn off. As you look into the distance from where you are, you'll see white dunes as far as the eye can see in every direction. There are no other buildings, just this one broken tower. And then desert. White, pale desert. There is no horizon. Instead, as you look to where a sky would be, there is only the cosmos, just kind of shimmering. You are on the surface of the moon. As you immediately go to inhale and feel no air fill your lungs, Tsukuyomi's magic will surround all of you. That said, Orpheus doesn't need to inhale, so it'll only apply to Lumi and Zavara. Tsukuyomi's magic will surround you, and suddenly you'll be able to breathe again as her spell, a sigil that appears in front of your eyes and just kind of affixes itself to the front of your equipment, will generate latent radiation around you and turn it into air magic, allowing you to breathe. Orpheus doesn't breathe, so the magic doesn't touch him.
Orpheus will pretend to inhale and say, "It seems wherever I go, death can never catch up." You'll look towards the ground, at the sandy, lifeless ground that's there.
As
Where
you say
things
that,
die, I do not. And I'll kneel and pick up a handful of the sand. Just let it drop.
the Sun Wolf, Amaterasu, will wander near one of the seats and look at it longingly before shutting her eyes.
Death does not hunt you here. Death has come and gone from this place long ago. You have your stage, sister. The sight of our broken dreams. Let us summon these creatures and be done with it.
Do I sense, like, Lunarians, like people from Chrysalis go to the live stream, people from Nova go to the Nova stream. Do I sense death here?
There's no death, actually. You sense no mist, no radiation, no sign that there was ever anything here beyond the wasteland that you see before you. And even this singular tower sticking out of the ground, half buried in this white sand. Even though it is obviously not naturally made, there's no magic attached to it. No radiation, no sigils, no nothing that you can sense. And even then, if it was a radiation you were unfamiliar with, you would at least kind of know it was there, and there's nothing but stillness here.
That is
I
very
would
concerning.
advise, sister,
Tsukiyomi says calmly, watching all the words that she says.
that you do not speak. I do not wish to insult our guests. And your contempt is palpable. It is obvious. Their folly shall reveal itself without my needing to speak. I will observe quietly.
Orpheus will turn to Amaterasu. Tell me, Amaterasu, why were you so keen on this meeting if it is just angering you?
As you clearly touch upon a nerve, she'll glare at you, but then she'll hesitate and look away.
Someone I respected very much believed that these creatures held ancient wisdom. They simply refused to speak to us. I am here because of his memory.
Very well. Then let us learn. Perhaps their help is needed in this moment. They were willing to address Spiritus when he was there the first time. Perhaps their motives have changed. And I'll take out the Eon Gem. Except I don't fucking remember anything, so... Do you want me to roll history?
Yeah. Go ahead and roll history. Racking your brain, trying to figure out what was the ritual for this object that, as you stare down at it and then just kind of see the table, the shattered table in the center of the room, and the architecture in this place, you look down at the object you hold in your hand and you sense an eerie feeling that the object you're holding is much, much older than anything here. That said, the object is alien to you, and with that roll, you don't recollect how to activate it.
Orpheus is just staring at the object.
Everyone
Do
will
I
be
sense-
quiet and watch you for a moment. The two dogs, wolves, will tilt their heads.
Do I sense any, like, faith energy from it like I do from the Akuria themselves?
No. Not announced, same thing. Actually, no. There is a vague vibration coming from within that you can sense as a magic user, Zavara, but it is very subtle. And the only reason you can sense it is because this place is so still.
Orpheus will look up to Tsukiyomi and then turn around and look at Amaterasu. And you'll say, it's strange. Now that we're all here, ready to use this thing, the memories have vanished. Like my life. What is happening to my head? Before Spiritus freed me, this is the same feeling that I had. And then he'll visibly start shaking as he'll drop it to the ground and grab his head. It's coming back. The void is gonna take me again. What can I do? And he'll turn to Tsukiyomi and then back, like he's like panicking between both of them. What do I do? And he'll fall to his knees and grab his head.
Tsukiyomi will approach you slowly and just kind of tilt her head.
If every last star, every last celestial body, every last creature in the cosmos were consumed, the void would not come here for you. This is the one place you will never return.
Visibly shaking, he'll slowly look up at her as he starts to calm down.
Shame is a powerful thing, young warrior. Even for the minute part that is still Erebus. He will never return here.
She'll circle the object for a second, observing it and sniffing it.
There are no Lunarian sigils within this. I sense celestial Akurian energy from the planet itself. But only a thread of it. As if the box awaits a very small catalyst, a small trigger.
She'll nudge the object back to Orpheus before she looks at him.
Perhaps a word, an emotion. A gesture.
Gaerun.
As you utter the word, the box will begin to glow very faintly with a silver energy. And the outline of Gaerun will appear above the table, projecting from the box itself. The wraith hovers in the center of the room, golden eyes fixating first on Amaterasu, then on Tsukiyomi, and then to the three warriors of light.
Vow.
That is clearly the wrong fucking voice. Where am I? 1 second.
Thou hast summoned us, warriors of light. Though we sense you no longer bear that title, what should we call you then? What new name shall the Acuria address you by? Condemners? Saviors? We await your response.
For
Orpheus
better,
was-
sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
For better or worse, and he'll glance at Orpheus as he says this. Whether her fireflies are with us or not, we carry her legacy. As you all should be aware, destiny isn't that easy to escape.
Orpheus will stand up, and while looking at Gerun, not at Zavara, will say, "Some of us were forced to a certain destiny." He speaks for himself and the others, not for all of us.
We offer you freedom from Etro, from her legacy. We offer independence. Let man choose its own destiny. Let the Acuria guide you, nothing more.
Gerun, there's much opposition to this meeting today. I come here with two friends who have an open mind, are willing to listen. Why would destiny be better off in the hands of the mortals? Why do we not need the sun or death or life and the power they hold over the planets? Why would the Acuria bring balance?
Geirun will eye Amaterasu and Tsukiyomi for a moment before returning his gaze to you.
We are alike. The Acuria. The Lunarians. And all of you. We share the same story, told and untold again. Some of us older than others. Some of us wiser for our age. Some of us no wiser. Destiny and fate are better suited to guidance than forceful control. We Acuria have learned this through our own mistakes and misgivings. Though one would have you believe our story older, our powers different. We are the same. The mistakes will be made regardless. A perfect existence does not exist.
Orpheus will nod. There are always repercussions, Gerun. That is a way of life. Something we all know very well about. We have heard stories of the Acuria. Although our dealings with you have occurred in the past, I can't help but wonder, should we present you a Dynast king that you agree upon, and the crystal reforged, and the demise of Zodiark, should destiny have it written perfectly, then what chaos, what stories do the Acuria feed upon in that moment? What repercussions will come of it? Sure, the planets would remain, but there must be a motive to wanting to do this, and to your offer when we previously spoke.
The Acuria cannot lie. Our motive is destiny, not chaos.
Gerun will look to Tsukiyomi and to Amaterasu for a moment again. This time you'll hold his gaze on Amaterasu.
I spoke to one long ago who accused us of feeding upon chaos. Chaos is but one of the aspects of ether that we feed upon. Destiny. Perseverance. Strife. War. Resistance. We Acuria are not responsible for these things. We Acuria made a decision long ago. These things are absolutes, and we will sustain our ethereal forms through these events.
Tsukiyomi's eyes will widen, and she'll step forward.
You did this to survive.
Gerun will nod.
Long ago, a soothsayer came to us. A prophet in benevolent robes. She spoke to us of freedom. She told us our advanced magic, our civilization would crumble at our own feet. That it was inevitable. No amount of magic, no amount of theory, no amount of organization could stop it. Such is the fate of all worlds, to collapse. For hubris, darkness, greed, fear, anger, all of these things win in the end. And so the world will be consumed. Ours was.
He'll turn his attention. He'll turn his attention to Tsukiyomi.
Yours was. All benevolence, all selflessness could not save Lunera. Your most talented, wise, and one selfless citizen could not save Lunera. Such is the fate of our worlds.
Gerun will then turn his attention to you, Orpheus, Zuvara, Lumi.
All worlds. We devised that the only way to survive was to transform, to change our ethereal bodies, to feed off things, events that are constant, and even in this we erred. There are so few of us left. There's not enough strife, destiny, or chaos in the world to sustain us. Our motivation? Survival. Same as yours.
As he finishes his final word, he'll stare at Orpheus unblinkingly, waiting for a response.
Will this, at least what I've been led to believe the ordeal is, will you be using that energy to subsist or to change yourselves to make it easier to survive?
Our time has come and gone. We use the energy to survive. There is no changing us. We chose to become wraiths, and in doing so lost everything that was worth preserving. As we chose ghosts and wraiths, you chose to become gods.
He'll turn his attention back to Tsukiyomi.
Tell us, did you fare any better?
Tsukiyomi will recoil from the question as if he had hit her, and will shake her head in shame, hanging it in shame.
Hypotheses. Our people toyed with the idea of ascension, godhood. Ultimately, we thought against it.
When you walk with men, like Fariat did, and like you did, do you gain anything from that, or is that a one-sided exchange?
Gerun will hesitate.
We agreed that we would be forthcoming. We agreed that it was the only way that your kind would accept our help. Forgive us. It is difficult for us to intercede. It goes against everything that we have ever believed. We instead choose to allow humanity to make its own decisions, simply empowering those that we believe will sustain us. But I have not answered your question. We gain different things. Hypotheses gather that it is a lasting emotion that ruled us in life. Emotions we do not feel unless we are connected. Fariat believes she senses purity, control, safety. I suspect Vena. Control, power, greed. As for me, though I do not remember my past life, when I am connected to one I deem worthy, valor, heroism. It is like an echo of a memory. I feel it not now, while I am away from Amarin. Perhaps a flawed version of us remains somewhere within the Wraith. I do not claim our magic to be flawless, only efficient, seeing as we have survived the longest, though even we dwindle away.
Orpheus will turn to Tsukiyomi. There are drawbacks to this, Tsukiyomi. Gods will no longer be among us, should we choose to accept this offer.
Before you ask your questions, Orpheus, why don't we have Gaerun tell us exactly what that offer is? I don't believe Tsukiyomi and Amaterasu have heard it yet, have they not?
Who's getting to it? Indeed, they haven't. Not that I'm aware of. I believe there will be some that would be opposed to this, as there are and you'll cut the word warriors. Others that are opposed to it as well. And then you'll turn to Gaerun. Perhaps you can re-explain the offer, and we'll take it as formal.
Gaerun will nod. What is wrong with my fucking thing?
Gaerun's throat's a little,
A little sore.
he's coming down with a cold.
Gaerun has been spiritist this whole time.
The exchange of magic. It extracts a price, a toll. The energies the Acuria fed upon are older than anything you know. Our incantations have the power to transfer energy at will, but exact a heavy price, so long as the task goes against the fabric of nature. When Lunera chose to ascend, you chose aspects of the natural order, aspects of life, death, things that are not so easily manipulated. We believe you were fortunate to only have one of your kind become Zodiac. It could just as easily have been death, magic, war, even life.
It makes sense that Zodiac became what he did, though. All of these things, warmth, valor, etc., are things that the living can experience. Emptiness, however, fundamentally opposes life. Experiencing it in the first place, unless I miss my guess.
His chances were the worst, to be certain. It seems the resolve required to tame the cosmos did not lie in the man, but in his legacy. The Primordials will lose their power, becoming powerful Eidolons. The Ikuria can also put you to rest if you so choose. We will leave the choice to you. The remaining energy taken from the Primordials will be contained in a vessel of our creation and given to the humans. This energy may be used to reforge the cosmic crystal. Crystals, unlike the Primordials, are objects of neutrality. They do not threaten the fabric of existence so long as they are held in hands that are neutral. And even in the hands of the more ambitious, the crystals are but powerful objects, nothing more. But the ideas of which you represent, they are another matter.
So your offer would only give us the power required to reforge it, but we have no knowledge of the method.
The Ikuria do not directly interfere in the affairs of mortals. If you wish for us to reforge it for you, the price will become heaviest. We make this offer to you simply because we wish to avoid oblivion. Under regular circumstances, the Ikuria, we would not offer to reforge it for you. But seeing as the original forger is among us still, we offer it, should you wish to pay the price.
The original forger is among us still.
Among the Ikuria.
Ah.
The knowledge was given to a traveler long ago who exchanged something for it. A heavy price indeed. Using this knowledge, the crystals were fashioned by one who had the power to do so, but not the knowledge. We granted the knowledge. The Fabula Nova crystals you wield are of Icurian make. Another testament to our neutrality. We are not saviors. We are not gods. The Aguria are a fallen civilization that wish only to continue existing. Nothing more. We have made our mistakes. And now we guide the reins of man to feed on the destiny that is left in their wake.
Would you indulge me a question, Arun? You say you
Speak.
don't interfere, but knowledge is in itself an interference if you open paths that man would not otherwise take.
Knowledge is indirect. We, the Acuria, do not directly interfere in the affairs of mortals. The power we grant, the wisdom, the guiding hand, this very conversation, it is interference. We remove our hand as far as we can, only placing it upon yours when we need to exist. We do this because we believe that control leads to devastation, not to the thing we so desire, which is destiny. If you do not trust my word, then ask those who would control the aspects and see their folly. But I think I need not bring it up again.
Should we choose to go down this path, Gaerun? The vessel in which you create to contain this power. How are we meant to transfer it?
We simply guide. The rest must be done by you. Should we interfere further, it will incur more of a price.
Fizz will turn to Tsukiyomi. You've heard the offer. This is why there's opposition. This is why there's hesitation.
We surrender a godhood that was never really ours to begin with, that we had no right to take. I am not sure. Choosing this path involves trusting this creature when I know nothing of its past.
Your sister seems to have experience from her past. Perhaps you should let her talk.
Amaterasu will glare at Orpheus.
I was told to be silent.
I've never known the great Amaterasu to be one to take orders
Do not
from her own
go
sister.
to me.
Amaterasu will look at her sister, and for once, you guys will see her expression soften.
Erebus believed in them.
believed in their magic. I do not know which he spoke with. But I would hear them in the study, discussing, theorizing. I know not what the decision is. Just now, when he spoke of stripping our power away, I felt a tightening. An instinctual reaction to hold on to my power. To fight this thing. To keep what is mine. And it terrified me. This is not what we were meant to be. Dear sister. As Amaterasu speaks, Tsukiyomi will close her eyes.
I believe that together we can defeat him. All of us, the Convocation united. There are two different paths that lead to the same location. I don't know why. Amaterasu. Leanna. I struggled to let go of our family. Of our colleagues. I believe we have the power to stop him. But I will surrender my power if I must. As Gerun said, our time has come and gone. Just like theirs. It is up to them to decide.
Amaterasu will hesitate for a moment. Do you think any of us will resist? You'll see Tsukiyomi just kind of ponder for a moment.
I don't think so. I think some of us might request to be laid to rest. But I don't foresee anyone fighting.
Then leave it to them. Such decisions are beyond my purview now. Tsukiyomi will turn her attention to Orpheus.
As for transferring the power, I may be able to help with that.
should you choose to go the route of the Acuria. And I become an Eidolon, I believe you call it. I will offer you my summon materia as a catalyst. Use my faith as a bridge. It will transfer the brunt of the power with very little loss. It will be enough. And it will finally lay me to rest.
Is that what you desire? To be laid to rest?
I desire peace. I desire freedom for the mortals that my niece fought for. I wish to make you all free of our mistakes. It is not fair that you should suffer for the hubris of Lunera. I would have our world be remembered fondly, not as the harbingers of doom. Yes, it is what I desire.
Orpheus will look at Tsukiyomi. I firmly believe that it is the wise decision to have neutrality take hold again, to no longer have an influence on the natural order of things. But unfortunately, it is not just my decision. And Orpheus will turn to Lumi and Zvara. What do you both think?
As far as I'm concerned, stripping power away from them and them keeping their essence, souls, however you want to put it, is not against what I believe. They would still be alive, they would have the freedom to choose to live. My only concern is the methodology. Actually reforging the crystal itself, which Gerun has already described as gaining that knowledge from them is a heavier toll to pay. I have an idea to get that instruction, but
The Acuria will offer the knowledge. The heavy toll will come if we perform the task for you.
then, from everything we've heard, I find a hard argument against it. Zavara?
Oddly, I find myself agreeing as well. My purpose has always been that no one should exist with this level of power. Like Amaterasu so gracefully stated, when you get that powerful, the instinct becomes immense to keep what power you possess. And I can't think of the meanest immortal who would give away power willingly. At least, look at the two wolves. Not under normal circumstances, anyway.
There are two paths that lie before you. The ones who would control the world, the gods. We, Acuria, see a way forward with them. And there is a way forward with us. In a world free of gods. Haunted only by the wraiths of the Acuria. But we do not make decisions. We guide. Some of us, I will admit, manipulate. But the choice always comes from the Dynast King. From the ones we choose. There are those who were empowered by us, who ignored our counsel. And there are those empowered by us, who heeded our counsel all too clearly.
If we chose...
But the decision has and always will be yours.
If we choose to side with you, do you have a Dynast King already set?
We cannot agree on a Dynast King. Fariat is trapped by your deep ground. Vana is sealed away by all of us, only accessible should Fariat be returned to us. And the ones that remain cannot agree on a Dynast King. Should you bring one forth, we may attempt to discuss choosing one. But the Acuria need not choose a Dynast King to aid you. We need not choose a Dynast King to sap the power from your primordial friends. And to house it for you. The two are separate. We offer both gladly.
Would you need Fariat released?
Fariat would need to be released so that we may transfer the power safely. Vana as well, I am afraid. But the choosing of a Dynast King is optional.
If I may, why does the choice of a Dynast King have to be a unanimous decision? As in, why are each of the Acuria not free to make their own decisions as to who they will empower? Usually.
The Acuria are free. We draw from a singular well of power. The Acuria share what power we hold as a means of preservation. Should two of us choose a Dynast King, the power is halved. Should four of us, quartered. That is why the Acuria must agree. Otherwise, the power we offer is reduced.
What if...
Even with what few of us are left, 5 now. Counting Fariat and Vana. Even with what few of us are left, the power does not diminish, so long as we choose one.
Would it help if a Dynast King were to be presented to you? One that perhaps all of you could agree on?
would require Vana and Fariat to agree. I, Gerun, in honor of an old friend that I once inhabited, will respect the decision of the warriors should it come to that. Though she never allowed me to grant her power, we often spoke.
This might be off topic for me, but I find myself wondering if we can help in some small way. You mentioned that each of you chases some aspect of emotions from the people that you inhabit.
Behavior, not emotion.
Behavior. But choosing is also a weighty decision because you share power. What if we made a bargain, potentially, in which you could no longer empower your hosts, but each of you 5 were free to choose the people that you could grant knowledge to, so that you had more freedom in making those decisions independently of each other. And as someone who shepherds the dead, I find there is much worth in preserving the wisdom of those who have gone before us.
Roll persuasion. The Eucuria will stare at you silently for a moment, unblinkingly.
I am afraid convincing the others would be near impossible. We have always existed together. For much longer than you can fathom. It would be difficult to imagine a world alone. We, the Iguria, refuse.
Orpheus will turn to Zavara. In that case, we better choose a balanced Dynast king to present.
One who we can trust to be moral while at the same time... What's the word I'm looking for? Do what has to be done.
The issue would be finding one that fits every behavior,
Lumi,
yet doesn't lean too much to one.
The Iguria can provide a list.
Lumi will turn to Gerun. What about Orpheus?
Orpheus will turn to Lumi. Just stare at
We
him.
have considered this amongst ourselves. Fariat would disapprove.
Fariat.
Boreat as well. Gerun will choose what the warriors choose.
Faria.
And we see enough bloodshed. We believe Vanar would approve.
Remind me again what aspects behaviors Fariat and Boreat are keen to?
Variant respects benevolence and light. Inspiration. Dice Dark was her chosen Dynast King. Boreat respects wisdom, knowledge, understanding. Sage Tella was Boreat's choice for a Dynast King.
Benevolence is not necessarily light. It involves the desire to do good.
And to
Projecting your
inspire good in others.
Projecting your life to do good.
He may not have chose this life, the life of a warrior of light, but he performs it admirably, if you've seen him in combat.
Your arguments are wasted upon me, so long as Fariad remains imprisoned.
Orpheus will nod.
Vana and Fariad cannot hear us, even while the Iguria remain before you all. They must be released. Discuss it amongst your allies. Speak our name, any of us, within the stone, and we will return.
Lumi will kind of coyly nudge Orpheus. Write that down.
There are other paths forward. We offer not the only path. Though our ability to see the future, to see outcome, it is fogged by Erebus. His magic surpasses our own. He truly has become what you wanted him to be. For this, the Iguria apologize. No world deserves the fate of Lunera or Iguria.
For an apology, Gaerun, you have to be at fault. Are you saying you guided Erebus to make that decision?
We did not. Boreat enjoyed Erebus, but ultimately we did not choose him. We chose another.
Bente?
You'll see Gaerun just kind of focus his eyes on you, Zivara. And you'll feel that if he could smile at you, he would.
One of our better choices. For a time.
Well, I think this is a decision that we should not make in a vacuum. Shall we return?
There are other avenues. Bear this in mind. As for the two gods,
Gerun will turn his attention to Amaterasu and Tsukiyomi, who have kind of been staring at each other sadly. They'll turn their gaze back to him.
We Curia have not felt in a long time. But we are very old. Much older than the young Lunarian race. We offer words of kindness. The guilt that you feel. Discard it. It is not folly to not want to go quietly into the night. You are forgiven.
Gerun will turn his attention back to the warriors and will nod and fade away.
Uzuar will have like an odd thought, and he'll look down at the gem that Steve was granted, and he'll say, "I wondered, did they house themselves in the first Grimoire?"
Grimoire.
The thing that witches use to focus their power and use incantations like the Akuria apparently do. It makes sense to me that they would house themselves in something that allows them to do so.
Grimoires are often blessed by bloodstones. Much like the one that looks like that is in Orpheus's hand. All right. What does the party want to do next?
We need to get the Fariat.
I have a few things that I would like to do. If I may ask for your help, should I need it?
I would just like to speak to Wisp, but that's not necessary. That doesn't require the both of you.
Orpheus, can you channel death by any chance?
This will slowly turn. Why?
Before you can answer, Amaterasu will kind of place a giant paw in between the two of you.
I assume I am no longer needed.
Thank you for your presence, Amaterasu.
Your invitation was appreciated. Call for me again, should you need me.
And before anyone can answer, the light of the distant sun, way, way far away, will just kind of encompass her and she'll be absorbed into it. Tsukiyomi will remain.
Lumi will approach Tsukiyomi and just kind of say, I don't want you to go into the void for our last conversation, but I may require your and your sister's assistance for the battle outside.
She'll nod as she turns her attention to you.
And what of your decision?
Everything tells me that to engage the Faith Tree would be suicide. There's just not enough help. But
The Faith Tree is what he is expecting least.
That is one of the few upsides to actually doing it.
We Lunarians are not known for our humility. It is folly to assume one would even know where it is.
Oh,
Remember Karos's suggestion, Lumi?
which one?
Well, the one that we can use Channel Death to find Mustadia. Potentially we could use both it and a combination of Astromancy to find Mustadio. Because our chief...
The constellation of the stars will not tell you where Mustadio is.
I apologize. I tend to think and skip steps. What I meant was using Channel Death to find perhaps a distance, a location, and then triangulating with Astromancy to find the specific location that Channel Death potentially shows us.
Utilizing the power of death will be enough. The soul has seen the wellspring. It has been touched by death. Assuming the one who is channeling has any amount of skill. So long as the soul has perished, they will find it.
No, I just realized that brings up another concern. Are we able to divinate the stars before we go in? Or does that have to be done when we enter?
Divination can be done before you enter.
Okay.
Such is the folly of representing the night sky.
Good.
When Orpheus will look at Lumi and Zavara, when is the crystal supposed to be reforged?
That's the whole issue. If we don't engage the tree, then at a later date. If we do, then the very moment we start channeling onto it.
You are aware of Tsukiyomi's decision. If her faith materia is used as a catalyst, she will
go.
no longer be able to help.
I'm aware. I am aware.
I think there may be alternatives, though. There are eidolons for which the very nature of what they represent makes them nigh indestructible. Maybe we can ask them to do so instead.
We were informed that Xandros had a unique adaptation that might be able to assist in that.
Assuming Xandros is not lost to us.
Assuming he's not lost to us, yes.
He may be a massive dragon, but I won't let him lose himself.
What did you need, Zavara? I don't think I can channel death in this area.
Don't worry about that for now. I was asking for in the future, should we go inside. I had a couple of loose ends that I wanted to wrap up. I carry a weighty decision with me that I have been remiss in making. And should I fail, I would not want Nero's soul lost to the void. So I would like to speak to Spiritus.
The timing of these events are important. We reforge the crystal, Spiritus will not be able to help you.
Oh, I mean to talk to him now.
Oh.
It is something that can be done immediately, Orpheus.
Tsukuyomi,
Will also not have access to channel death should we surrender our power. And such will have trouble finding the idol in Mustadio.
that is true. Would either Wisp or Spiritus be able to transport us out of here once we're done? I don't want to waste up too much more of your time.
Spiritus and Wisp will have the power.
Then, Lumi will look at the other two. If you have no more questions.
Thank you for your presence, Tsukiyomi.
It was a pleasure, warriors. Do keep me informed of your decision.
We will.
And she will fade away. Leaving all of you in the old convocation meeting room.
Which is insane to hear. Lumi will kind of pace a bit and newly fully synchronized, just kind of speak out loud. Wisp? Seeing if he gets a response firstly.
As you say his name out loud, without like an instant, without even hesitation, you'll hear, yes.
Hello, old friend.
A little caterpillar that was crawling on one of the window sills will turn into Wisp, and he'll just kind of point his two index fingers together shyly.
You've been here the whole time.
Yes.
It's okay. As he approaches him and gives him a hug.
Hello.
Hello, old friend.
This place is familiar.
Yeah, I bet it is. I know you heard a lot. I know you heard about Orpheus speaking to Gerun about I get the word is stripping away your power as well as everyone else's. Are you okay with that?
Did we do something wrong?
That's it's a complicated question. It's not about whether or not what you did was wrong. It's about the principle of the entire process. But I don't blame you. You remember your old life, at least bits and pieces of it, don't you?
I remember sometimes. When I pay attention.
I know you told me you don't like thinking about it. But there is one very specific thing that I might ask you to remember.
What's that?
Do you remember Xandros?
Xandros. No.
Maybe a song? Any kind of melody that sticks out?
I like all kinds of songs.
How about Sia?
You'll see him just kind of look up at the sky, like quizzically, like he's trying to figure out.
No. No see ya.
Steph, do I remember when the Mist Dragon met Ophiuchus? Would I remember what like melody she sang? I obviously won't be able to imitate it to anywhere near her degree. But the tune that she sang for Ophiuchus.
I don't think she sang it in front of you. I'm pretty sure she didn't, actually.
It was. I think it was in the story card from when she was first revived. When we did the recession to revive her. But I could be wrong. So, never mind.
Wisp looks around curiously.
The reason I ask is because we are trying to retrieve Ophiuchus. And we believe that those names and that song I previously mentioned are one of the keys to getting him. I was hoping you would remember.
Nope. I don't remember.
Given what we were told, I think it might be better this way. It was, at least I would imagine it to be, extremely traumatic.
I suppose you're right. Well, let's see. The method by which we're going to reforge the crystals will be given to us, so I don't need to speak to him. Unless anyone else has any other things to discuss, I think I am personally done.
I wish I could help you, Lumi. To help Wisp remember. I'm afraid I can't.
Zwar?
Would you choose to remember Orpheus? If you could forget the fool's blood, would you choose to do so?
The day that I get that choice is the day that I cease to be. That is the only choice I would make.
In that case, Orpheus and I are in agreement here.
Then shall we go home?
Yes, I gather Spiritus would not be very happy to be here. Let's speak to him among the flowers he likes so much.
Can you take us home, Wisp?
Okay.
An emerald energy will encompass the Warriors of Light, dematerializing them and rematerializing them in the gardens of Cornelia. Once the party arrives in the gardens of Cornelia, you'll see a stable boy speaking to two guards. As soon as all of you rematerialize back, the boy will point to all of you as if to say, "There they are! And then the guards will look over in your direction, and then once they recognize who it is, they'll slap the boy on the back of the head and walk away.
Oh boy. You said you
Boys,
want?
would
Go
you
ahead.
mind asking Spiritus to join us? I'm sorry to call upon him so much.
Would you like me to stay, or can I go?
You can go,
If-
Wisp.
Well, if things go well. Well, I'm
It
not.
hurts to stay under the sky.
It hurts.
Mm-hmm.
The radiation, right?
I hide in caves, in little grottos, with my friends. Can I go?
You may go. It's okay.
When you put it like that, who are we to refuse?
Spiritus!
And then he'll just disappear. It doesn't take long, a few moments, and out from one of the garden paths will walk Spiritus's familiar form. He needs to kind of bend his neck down to cross one of the archways, considering how tall he is. He'll look around for Wisp for a minute, and then he'll look at all of you, and then he'll just kind of point in any direction.
I don't think he ever know
Well,
which way he went.
of course. I suppose I have you to thank for all this.
As always.
Is there something I can do? Once again.
One way or another, I think so. I have a request.
Color me shocked.
What color
What
would
is
that
your
be?
request?
Purple, maybe? Pink?
He'll extend his forearm and point to the color of his skin.
I have been waffling on a decision I feel I should have made a long time ago. And I'll pull out the soul prism that has Nero's soul in it.
Such a sight is enough to kill you where you stand. I won't, of course.
He'll extend an open hand expectantly.
Zavara pretty universally has kind of like a smirk on his face. Like, even when he's angry, when he's sad, he always kind of has this kind of universal smirk. But for once, that smirk will fall and he'll frown slightly. And he'll say, of all the things that I've ever done, this is one of the most important to me. Will you listen, please?
Judging, he'll look at you with a very serious, very impatient expression on his face. And as he says this next part, he'll nod.
Judging by the state of that soul, it is something you should have done a long time ago. A Guado should know better. But I will allow you to speak.
You are correct. And then I should have done this a long time ago. But of all the lives that I have ever encountered, Spiritus, It makes me weep to have found one who had so little control over his own life. But ultimately, it was against everything that I stood for to bring him back, as Amarid did. I do not know.
Amarid. Why is it such that the worst offenders when it comes to the natural order of death have to come from the Guada?
Because the people who are most likely to abuse something are the people who understand it.
If you understand it, then you should understand that all lives are random and subject to the environs in which they are born in. It is not Nero's fault that he was hurt so much. But it is as fate willed it. His existence was suffering, and his soul returns to the ether, to the wellspring, same as all of us.
He'll catch himself for a minute.
Maybe not all of us. My own hypocrisy laid bare.
I
Either
will
way.
I'll be brief. I do not think that he should be brought back to life. But all the same, I would give just about anything to see him have a second chance in some form. The way that he could be free.
What is it you are asking of me?
I don't know what this wellspring is, to be honest with you. I don't know if it's repose or rebirth or what lies next. And to be honest, I don't want to know. But if there are any branching paths past the door we must all take, if there is one that would give him a second chance, I ask that you lead him down that path.
If it brings you any peace, he will be at peace. Much more than in that jar. His suffering will end.
I understand. And he'll walk over and he'll place it in Spiritus's hand.
As you do so, he'll close his fist and shatter it. As he shatters it, the silver soul will hover above his palm, broken, discolored. And Spiritus will place a second hand over it, kind of enveloping it in both of his palms. A small doorway, a small hole in the fabric of space and time will appear, and Spiritus will allow the soul to just kind of fly through it.
I would have been doing him a grave disservice if I had blundered and lost him within the void. So thank you.
Thank you for setting him free. Well, if that is all, warriors, is there something else I can do for you?
Morpheus will just shake his head.
That is everything. Thank you.
Very well.
Silvery energy will encompass him, and he will fade away as well.
So, there's a conversation I want to have, but it is, I'm going to ask Orpheus and Limmy what they think about it. While the judge is tracking where Dystar's body is, I've been thinking that all over the planet, there are those not in the major cities who are being hunted down by fiends. I had an idea that I would free Ixion when Eden granted me his power, and set him to find those wayward souls that aren't protected, and take them to somewhere that they might be.
A solid idea. Why does it need discussing?
Because I wanted to speak to Logren.
Why Logren?
Because men like him don't heal in idleness. He is a warrior. And though I don't think he wants to fight, it would be my suggestion that if he would want to build a place to house these people, he might be willing to do so, to create instead of destroy.
Well, then we'll motion to the crack in the wall. He's out there.
Can I go talk to him, Steph?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Just want to say, out of character, it's just a props to Easter there. The music that's playing when Easter talks softly is very good. Like it matches the way he talks softly so well. I just wanted to say that. I was like immersed in in like the conversation there.
Traveling through the hole in the interior garden castle garden wall will lead you to an open plain on a cliff edge, cut off from the rest of the island and the inlet by the actual castle itself. There are no fiends on this cliff edge because they can't reach here without going through the castle walls or scaling the very, very sheer cliffs below into the ocean. As you approach the center of this massive cliff line, you'll see a small little foundation set down. There seems to be some sort of seem to be cinder blocks of some kind, just kind of laid in a formation resembling the foundation of a small little house. A bunch of lumber nearby, There's an axe, a whole bunch of building tools. Although at the moment you don't hear the sounds of any building or constructing. At the moment, as you approach this area that has a bit of clutter near it, you'll hear a very loud sound of snoring. Clearly loud and echoing across the cliff line, well louder than the waves below crashing on the rocks. As you approach, the sound gets louder, and you'll find Logrin laying on a cot, hands behind his head, sleeping.
I'm not waking him up.
This was your idea, Zavara.
Well, you're done building, Logrin, but it sounds like you're still sawing.
As you speak, the snoring will stop, and one of his eyes will open.
I had a question for you if you had a minute.
It sounds like the sound of destiny coming to knock at my door. More warriors of light, huh?
One
Always a
returner.
pleasure to welcome you all to my little home, granted to me by Blair. Or at least Blair's convincing. I don't know who she was yelling at, but they ran away scared.
It was probably the stable boy. He just can't seem to catch a break.
Feel bad for him. He was telling me a story the other day about Karos. What a nightmare thing to go through. But I digress. What brings you to my humble abode on the cliff edge?
Well, I wanted to ask you for a favor, to be straight with you.
See, that much you didn't even need to say. The Warriors of Light come knocking. It's for a reason. Speak! What's your favor?
As he sits up and turns around to address you all, he'll rummage around in one of his rucksacks and pull out 2 knitting needles attached to a whole bunch of yarn that is being knitted into some sort of cozy. On the cozy is a quarter knitted symbol of Belias.
The craftsmanship.
Faraz said I had a knack for it. I never believed him. I always thought it made me too
He'll look back and forth to see if anyone's listening.
effeminate. And I was a warrior. I needed to show the troops what it was like to be a man, what it meant to be a man. And Faraz kept telling me to just knit. I wish I had listened to him.
It's a moment of peace, isn't it?
The waves, my little house here, and this little cozy, one that I think Faraz himself would have been proud of me for. It's my way of remembering him.
Is it going to be
But
a
I
habit?
digress. What is your favor?
I plan on having some of our friends rescue those people around the planet who currently have no chance of fighting in the major cities and who are wandering waiting to be found by those creatures possessed by our mutual enemy.
He'll arch an eyebrow as you say that.
I thought Gaia was creating triage centers.
They are.
I believe it was at Star's request. At least that's what Blair tells me.
Well, if they are defended, then I will have them take them there. But it was my hope to go for more how shall I say it, subtlety and stealth than placing them in harm's way, if at all possible. At least any more than they already are.
What does that have to do with me?
I was going to ask you to show them how to build and keep them alive. Not to fight. But, and it'll kind of crack a smile. If not show them what it means to be men, show them how to build things.
Make fun of the big man knitting. How original. You made me lose count now. You would bring them here.
Or to an alternate location, since if this place falls, it's likely that the rest will fall afterwards. But there are a few places that have been so long forgotten, I think they might be available as well, at least temporarily.
I see. I would be glad to offer my aid to those who need it. I would be glad to offer my sword if you need it too. In the final battle. I suppose I have been sitting here on this cliff edge because I know that someday a warrior of light would darken my door and would ask me to lend my strength.
You know, the woman who taught me used to say that every man, every warrior, I should say, since she was a woman, has a cup. And every time that warrior sees loss or feels pain, drops are added to that cup. And when a man's cup is full, it is time for him to stop if he can.
Some of us don't have the luxury of choice, young warrior of light. Say my cup runneth full a long time ago, and I knew a wise man once who told me, "Get over it, go put on your armor." And that man was the wisest man I ever knew, and simultaneously the most foolish man I ever knew. My dear brother Bente, who, as I say his name aloud, I miss him more than you will ever know. Regardless of his folly, he was my brother, and I would have died for him.
The aid in which Zavara calls upon will help just as much as if you took your sword. This is how you can help us in the final battle.
Is that so? By saving those who are hurt from the war It rages across the world. I wonder what will become of those who are hurt should you lose against Zodiark. I am a warrior. I don't think I'm an Eidolon anymore. I don't hear the
be-
voices I used to hear when I was an Eidolon. Which means that I am what I was before I was twisted. And that means I am Lunarian. At least, if the records in this castle are telling the truth. Which means that I am much more useful to you up there than I am down here.
Should we fail, and they are alone, without somebody like you, they will die with fear in their eyes, with nothing but pain. You teach them how to survive, they will die inspired, move on to the next life, without that fear. That is how you can be useful. There's no need to take up arms, but I would keep it close, should fiends find you. These are innocent souls. Should we fail, they should not die filled with fear. They should die facing it head on, because that's what they were taught by you. Fearless.
He'll look up from his knitting needles and he'll look at you with a weird expression on his face as you speak. He'll stay quiet for a second as you finish talking, and he'll look you up and down. Roll persuasion with advantage.
About to say persuasion.
He'll laugh to himself as he turns his attention back to his knitting needles and continues knitting.
Seems I need not go far to be reminded of my dear Bente. Very well. Shut up and go get your armor it is. If you don't need me up there, I will do what you ask. What is your name, Zavara? You remind me of the Zavara that I read about in the stories in that castle.
I've been around a long time.
You remind me of my other brother, one I also miss, Maduin. Your stories remind me of Maduin's. Never have I met a man so eager to fix the world, and yet had broken it so many times. You're all pieces of my brothers. Why wouldn't you be? There's a reason my niece chose you all. I think she chose men and women that reminded her of us, because she saw the good in all of us and ignored the bad.
He'll turn his attention from his knitting needles to Lumi, just kind of looking past Orpheus.
And I suppose you're here to teach me how to knit? Then I'll have the trifecta.
Oh no. I was gonna ask if I could join you.
Yes, for us it is. All three of my brothers here in the flesh. Of course you can join me.
Lumi's tail will kind of wag, even though he's not a dog. Just kind of whips and then takes a seat next to
Twitch.
him. Yeah. So should I do a pillow?
A pillowcase, thank you. I want a Moogle on it.
Just one Moogle?
Just one Moogle.
You got it, Kupo.
Can I do the outro stuff?
Yes, you can.
Orpheus will tap Zavar on the back, not say a word, and just sit down cross-legged watching Lumi and Lograin, right?
Yeah.
Knit. And hopefully as I tap Zavara, he'll follow suit. And the camera will pan out the door and go towards the sky with the soft music playing. The world on the brink of destruction. With these four sitting in a room, having one last peaceful moment. Just doing something so innocent. And then black. End
love that.
episode. To be continued.
I like that, an outro. That was good. You successfully
Well, we don't have a
succeeded
map.
in.
So I was just picturing it in my head.
It makes sense. No, I like it. I think it's cool. It's the first time someone ever offers to do that. Logrin will go where you need him to go to help in the war effort. So you can add Logrin to the list of resources for that, Easter. You successfully knit a pillowcase with Logrin, Lumi.
Woo!
And then with what's left over, you'll both knit something called a Belias patterned scarf, which is an adornment that you'll gain.
Oh, shit. I don't have an
So write
adornment.
that in the import tracker.
Yep. Elias pattern scarf.
Okay. Send me your votes for MVP. I'm giving full experience for this. It's a long session. You guys did well.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling too good, so I wasn't too talkative. Sorry about that.
Did you get what you needed?
Yep, we got the information we needed. Just needs to happen in a certain order, right? So.
Yeah.
That was going to be my. So I know you said we couldn't have leveling sessions, Steph. I don't want one of those. But one of the things that we were predicting, if we are choosing to go inside, is that I would have Eden's protection.
Yeah.
And Matt has already set aside the hours to do so.
Okay.
So I was wondering if
we can deduct it.
Yeah.
Once you've completed the quest line, it's just a small cutscene for Eden to offer his power to you in exchange for allowing him to lay his brother to rest. At least, and not be forgotten in some pile of rubble somewhere. So if Thunder removes if they're already removed from his leveling notes, then you can put Eden in the import tracker.
Give me 1 second to see if he had written them aside already.
He needs to roll. He needs to make the rolls to see if he makes the DC check. Actually,
Yeah. That's what I was asking. Because he had to do sense of smell. I forgot until you.
I forgot that I changed standby events to actually have DC checks now. So he needs to. If you want Eden, he needs to log in and make the rolls.
Okay.
I need to roll
let's see
for
if he's
Carbuncle
back.
too.
Yeah, but I'm not turning this into a whole thing.
Yeah. Not now. What about it?
You want to just take us up because he's picking up Megan right now. He hasn't gotten back yet, and he can just do it whenever he gets back.
Okay, I'm gonna write the MVP and all that for this session then.
Sounds
So
good.
Monday, if you stay connected, and Thunder comes back and I'm like doing my recovering thing, you can just observe him rolling.
Roger that.
Okay. What's up, Steve?
Nothing. I just wanted to mention that we need a plan to protect the people going to Stairway.
I suggest that once we go up and you guys talk, we have an opportunity for everyone to kind of talk for a bit and figure something out, since you've got 3 of the members of the Warriors up there right now. And you guys have more information, so I suggest everybody contributes and you kind of just figure something out together if you can. And if you guys do that, then at the very least, Steve can organize another RP session with me when he's feeling better, and he can make the deal with Gaerun if he believes it's necessary. If you guys choose not to, then you can get ready for the other plan, whatever it's going to be. So I'm going to move us up, and I'm going to do all the DM stuff.
I just need like 10-15 minutes. I'll be back.
Okay.